Welcome back, disc golf fans, to the conclusion, the fourth and final round back nine coverage of the Discraft Ledgestone Open presented by Merrill, a PDGA Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Series Plus event, the second of this year. We've got a scoreable back nine out here at the Eureka Lake Temp course. I'm Nathan Queen, again joined by Andrew Fish.
And we have been delighted to watch this action. Four great players on our card, pushing for a win, pushing for podium spots, pushing for Disc Golf Pro Tour points, as all of this is ultimately leading up to the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship in October. Calvin Heimburg and Ezra Robinson moving pretty well in solo, second, and third, but it's hard to catch a guy who won't stop birdieing in Coleridge Allen.
Yeah, he's got the hottest score on the front nine coming into the round with the lead already. Going to be hard to catch that.
Hole 10, 425 feet across an open field, a par 3. A little bit intrusive OB on the right side at the wood line. That wraps around all of the back and left side of the basket. A little bit of tailwind, maybe some left to right as well. Calvin Heimburg going to line up an eagle.
Just one par on the round so far. Definitely going to be looking for the birdie here. Oh my goodness. Eagle it is.
What a shape, and the stoic Calvin Heimburg is hyped. Put a 1 down on the scorecard for Vinny.
Oh, and what a cheer. You know lead card heard these cheers going on.
Absolutely. We're going to look at it from the catch cam angle. A little bit of hyzer release, drift, and breaks right back to the basket. Settles in as softly as a putt.
Oh, just absolutely perfect driven eagle shot there. Gonna card the eagle, also known as ace, here on this par 3. 2 aces on the course within 2 minutes, as lead card was on hole 7 just before this.
That is crazy. And Ezra Robinson has to try to follow it up. Needs late stability, but he is going to get bogged down in the OB.
Man, that's a tough task to follow up.
Yeah, it's not just Calvin. It's his entire card. It's the entire crowd who are amped for that.
And Simon puts a pretty good line on this, carrying over that OB. He's trying to give the fans a show. Fades out just a little bit early, but finishes up inside circle 1.
Yeah, he's going to have to hit the weights. He came up short on the ace run attempt.
Through 10 holes, Simon has as many aces as pars.
Calvin.
Yes, Calvin.
Proctor overturned, also going to find the out of bounds. Layup upcoming from probably 80 or 100. And the sweetest walk in disc golf is to go collect your disc.
And back to stoic. Excitement over.
Save attempt for Ezra, a touch high. And pretty favorable spot here for James Proctor. Better than I anticipated.
And able to connect. A nice par save to not go back-to-back bogeys there. After back-to-back OBs. With still a little bit of rain falling. Nice Gatekeeper rewind there to wind in that par.
I really like the high to low action he had on the putt. It was on the basket the entire time. Simon, good glide, collects a birdie to move him back to 4 under. And the rare small straight.
1, 2, 3, 4 brings us into hole 11. 300-foot par 3. Second easiest hole on the course, only to the par 2 of hole 7. Don't go long.
Yeah, gotta think the difficulty is based primarily on there being out of bounds pretty close to the basket. Calvin, overstable fairway driver. And he did go long in round 1 this time. Appropriate distance control. Putting for birdie.
This looks a little high right out of the hand. And does end up catching a little bit of a roll over there. He's going to find that OB. Be inside circle 1 for the par save.
Proctor going to trust his width a little bit more. And does swing back inbounds for about a 16-footer. Ezra always with the backhand. Difficult to keep his disc dry, it seems.
Finds a dry spot. Squeezes a little bit harder anyway. And comes up just a little bit short, but is in bounds just outside circle 1.
And
knew it out of the hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
76% of the field, not including Simon Lizotte. He's going to card a bogey now on this hole.
Yeah, very clearly frustrated.
But 76% of the field carding a birdie.
Proctor in. And that's going to bring us to Vinny. Trying to get to 9 through 11.
Yeah, backing up an ace with a birdie is a pretty good feeling, too. A lot of the times it can go south after that.
Yeah, you don't want the come down. And we will take a little walk to get to the temporary tee pad and the water tower hole. A short layup zone and a maybe 90-foot circle that you have to work with here, centered at the water tower, however. Trust a disc that you can swing back in and push around the right side. I imagine we're going to see 4 overstable backhands.
Yeah, plenty of power on this card to not really have to mess with more than one angle. You just throw it out flat and let it finish. Or even with a little hyzer on it.
Yeah, you see it there with the 9-speed. It's quite a luxury to be able to throw 354 uphill. And this is headed right for the water tower. Listen to this sound. He threw it so badly it stayed in and didn't touch the water tower.
Yeah, if you miss by enough, you can go in front of it and grab that short grass. He might even have a putt at that from circle 2.
Ezra, the big overstable hyzer shot. An improvement on what Calvin had done. And this is very spiky from Simon Lizotte.
Fortunate to hit that water tower and not catch a rollaway. A lot of the time you see some crazy bounces off of that, as he had a blind shot right there. Able to get around nicely. James not quite as open as I thought he might be, but still gives it a pretty good bid.
Yeah, and it's going to take the par. That is a great outcome given how he threw his tee shot. Heimburg continuing his good work, 10 down through 12.
Wow.
And Ezra also with the easy bird.
Yeah, but when you're trying to keep pace with Calvin at 10 down through 12, Ezra might feel a little off-put with his 5 down.
Katrina Allen! Maria Eureka! She's done it. Kristen Tatar.
Side, Ananda! Stacy Saladia! Champion Open at Austin! Paige Pierce!
Moving into hole 13, the lone par 5 on the course today. 1,080 feet. You'd like to land right here so you can throw another hyzer out over the water, so you can then throw another hyzer out over the water.
Repeat, but don't rinse.
Calvin looks like he's going Draco for that first hyzer out over the water. Well done.
Yeah, maybe a touch high on the hill, but with his power, he should be able to carry into that second landing zone without difficulty.
You'd like to throw this shot about 360 feet. That's about 350 right there, just behind that tree. Hopefully not in a swing too much.
Yeah, it's a long walk around the water, speculating about whether you're going to be able to throw it cleanly. Much higher and spikier for James Proctor with the distance driver. And still effective.
Yeah, well executed. Not quite as high on the hill like you said Calvin is. Gonna have an opportunity to go farther if he would like to, but you kind of have to play this hole how it lays out. There's not a great way to get more aggressive.
Yeah, additional power or distance potential doesn't make it easier to score.
Very stymied on this tree right here.
And
Clean.
that is a very, very good shot from a tough stance.
Yeah, controlled his arm swing, didn't break his hand, and was able to get around that bush. Gonna be inbounds.
Hey, boy, James.
And Proctor makes it look easy. Should give a good read to the other guys on the appropriate width and if there is any wind. As Simon's going to push forward to the front of the landing zone.
Yeah, and depending, that could actually pinch your angle off a bit if you get too far up there.
There are some low branches to deal with. Heimburg back to the fairway driver. Does go high and spiky, and if this will find a way to settle, then he's in good shape.
Yeah, nice little roll down the hill there as well. Closer down to the water excuse me, the water you are, the better your angle is.
Ezra going to go with a putter. Still on hyzer, but trying to land soft rather than spiking.
I like this play. As you see, he does land pretty softly there. Slides up and going to be inside circle one.
Yeah, that really neutralizes the potential to get up and roll.
Yeah, ground is pretty soft today, so less likely that you'll see the drivers get up and roll. But putter takes it out of play, as this one has a little bit too much speed on it, but still going to maintain circle one.
Heimburg also going with that slow disc, but more stable on a hyzer spike.
Yeah, this is moving pretty fast. Oh, and he's catching a bit of a roll also. Does stay inbounds, going to be mid-circle two. Might have a low ceiling.
Yeah, at this point, he's created some separation from third place, so he is absolutely going to run that putt in search of another birdie. Simon, the only player to come up short, but in good shape.
Yeah, decided not to go high since he was so far, but did have to deal with those branches. Oh, and not really a low ceiling to deal with, but did have to straddle out. Great bid, just high, still right on line.
Proctor will card the birdie. Keeps a pretty solid round moving. Still in the top 10.
Yeah, along with 57% of the field, so 33 players able to card the birdie here with Simon. Besides the water, this is pretty much 3 stock hyzers. As Ezra, a little bit of trouble on the putting greens today. Seems a bit tentative in that putt. All the same miss.
Yeah, he made the one big one, but now that's 3 low putts from inside or just outside the circle.
Yeah, I believe all inside.
That's he'll be kicking himself about those.
Yeah, he's trying to wipe it off that putter right now.
Hole 14, 850 feet as a par 4. There is string line on the left marking OB, as well as the more obvious lake on the right. Hopefully no geese in the fairway today. Throw a fairway driver or mid-range down to the landing zone, and then a big hyzer out over the water if you're going to test for that bird.
Playing is the hardest hole on the course today.
I can believe it. I think this is the last hole on the course that really has, say, double bogey potential. Everything else you can cover your mistakes with a bogey, with just a bogey.
Is James using that downslope accidentally to carry his disc down to the bottom? Not quite as far as you would like to get, but still going to be in a pretty good position. Simon needs this to check up.
And does by several feet. Being more left isn't necessarily good, however. It's going to mean he has to throw more at the water. Heimburg with a little bit of turn.
Oh, this looks incredible.
Yeah, cuts the corner. Means he should be able to see exactly where he's throwing at the basket on his second. That's big for his round.
Well into position, should be inside that 450-foot mark.
Love that.
And very confident swing by Ezra Robinson. Everybody in good shape.
Yeah, James going to have to really get into this one to reach the basket. He's pretty far back, and he does get well into it. What an incredible shot. He's going to roll on up to just outside the bullseye.
Yeah.
500 feet.
Great bonus curl. Great trust out over the water. Simon needs to swing this around the willow. And then the late stability. Not quite the same action as James, but still well in position for a bird.
Still a few raindrops out there falling, but the sky has lightened up a bit. Very low wind. Ezra Robinson, lots of speed on that disc, gonna put himself inside circle one. Another opportunity for a birdie.
And Heimburg able to go back to that 9-speed. He's pushed so far up the fairway. He wants to get the full swing rather than backing down on a distance driver.
Be nice to him.
Come on, baby.
Be nice to him.
Oh yeah, it's right by the pin and gonna check up nicely just outside the bullseye. Looking at another birdie. 2 pars is enough for him.
And my recollection is you said this was a hard hole.
Yeah, there was 16 birdies on the day.
Out of 58.
Out of 58. So our card
Gaining strokes on the field.
has, yeah. Got 2 of the birdies on it so far. Calvin looking for the 3rd birdie on our card. Out of 16, we had 20 players take bogey or above. So lots of OB strokes to get those bogey strokes in there and the average up. However, James Proctor gonna tap in his birdie for a diamond frame here on the hardest hole on the course today. Let's go, guys. Good stuff. Moving into hole 15, 315 foot. Excuse me, 351 foot.
That's about right.
Par 3. Forehand plays, backhand mid-range for these guys with lots of power. Backhand fairway as well. The backhand's going to be a flexing stall shot.
I don't love this.
No,
Needs
this
to
is a
keep
little
turning
wide.
quick. Get some branch help, I think, to knock it down.
Yeah, not often do you see something punch through those branches there. Pretty thick with the foliage.
Simon, this is a much better shot. Dragged it to the right early. And even that does stall out a little bit, but inside the circle. Heimburg, this is going to be the lone forehand on the card. As he's going to try to just use speed and stability to his advantage.
And you don't want that to stand up at all. So as soon as that stood up and went straight, that was wrong. You needed that on a hyzer to be in front of those branches the entire time, but is able to stay in bounds, maybe be 100 feet or so. And this is a bit wide as well.
So everybody's safe, but only Simon in really good position. Heimburg looking for the bonus.
Wow.
Going to come up a touch short.
That's so far to jump putt.
It's absolutely. Robinson also going to take that look and makes.
What a big make. That's the second long make of the day now. A make up for some shorter issues on the green. And this one, oh, what a shot. What a birdie to make up after the errant tee shot.
Oh, no doubt. And just look how fast that putter was still spinning as it got to the basket. So much pop. Proctor tries to follow up with a big putt of his own, but off the cage. And here is Lizotte for bird. Tucks it in low left.
Gobble, gobble. Got him 3 in a row to get to 6 under. Ezra Robinson getting himself to 7 under par. All of these guys having a good round.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about Calvin and trying to chase down Coleridge Allen, but everyone in good position.
On the surface, Ledgestone is one of disc golf's leading retailers, but look a little closer and you'll find a group of motivated individuals providing the best possible service to the disc golf community. So whether you're building a bag, wanting to support your favorite pro, or looking to add to your disc golf wardrobe, choose Ledgestone.
Hole 16, a par 4 at 606 feet. Very attackable. Backhand roller plays, forehand plays, backhand fairway or distance driver both play. There's a mandatory that forces you to the left. There is out of bounds string to the left as well. And then the basket perched on a little bit of a downslope. I'll be interested to see if anybody tries to make an eagle play with a backhand roller, trying to squeeze a couple extra strokes.
Here's a backhand roller here. Not a fan of it. Couldn't quite tell where that one got to.
I think he turned it so far that it just got caught in the hedgerow on the right.
Ezra, well rounded in the backhand variety. Definitely going to be going with that air shot.
Does slope down towards the out of bounds, but slow enough to catch up and should leave him about 225 into the green.
Yeah, controlled very nicely. Difficult to get that disc to check up and not go OB.
Good looking angle from Proctor. It's a flippy enough disc that it definitely will cut back up the hill. Pushes past the drop zone with some heat.
Oh, yeah. Gets past that drop zone, which is about 200 feet, so he's going to be about 150 maybe into the pin.
Yeah, able to see the base of the basket is kind of a luxury here. And Heimburg with the fairway driver.
Slide on the pass. Get that pass slide.
What a hovercraft.
And Calvin with the longest backhand that I'm sure has ever been thrown on this hole, catching that cart path, which is new in the last year or two.
And for note, that is safe. It's the road to the right that plays out of bounds.
Yes, and there is a Mando, this light pole or electrical pole that you can see up here you have to move left of. Simon Lizotte, what an incredible touch. Backhand standstill, patent pending putter shot.
There's a lot of modifiers there, Nathan. And all of them deserved. Good speed control for Ezra Robinson. Going to have about 18 feet. And Calvin close enough to jump putt his approach.
Yeah, I guess he was feeling the jump putt on that last hole from 15 and Not quite right on this one. Came out of the hand a bit wobbly. Didn't catch any air.
Yeah, definitely a mistake. Makes his putt much more stressful than it needed to be. And Proctor going for the highlight.
Just short. Almost carding the only eagle, as we did not have any today. However, 62% of the field, including Calvin Heimburg, moving to 12 under par, got the birdie. Third easiest hole on the course today.
That sounds right. Relatively short, relatively open.
Yeah, a few bogeys come into play with the OB.
Robinson grabs a turkey. Simon continues his streak.
And we've got ourselves another diamond. Brings us to hole 17. The infamous Eureka Lake Island hole, 310 feet. Don't throw it 325.
And make sure you throw it 295 or more.
Yeah, low wind today, so pick your poison. Might see putters, might see mid-ranges, might see some spiky fairways.
And Lizotte, I don't
Yeah.
think the branch changed anything. That just looked kind of fluffed out of his hand.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like the soft fairway on a low wind day like today. Pretty easy to do what happened there and just kind of fluff it, trying to not go long.
Robinson, much better height, and gets into about 25 feet. Proctor also to the backhand, very high.
Yeah, looks to be going putter play here and comes in very nicely. Trying to give it that ace run, going to be inside circle one.
Heimburg, I'm sure, has been checking scores to see what he needs to do to try to snag a win. Overstable. And the crowd wanted it, but Calvin never quite got to the bucket.
Yeah, and I'm sure he knew that as well. This one's a scary one to ace run. Going for the bucket, you can get out of bounds quickly. Simon Lizotte. Another great par save here. Hitting from the brand new drop zone, about 55 feet.
And off the cage, to the chains, and in. What a hero is Simon Lizotte to all of the fans gathered to watch.
Yeah, keeps himself inside the top 10 with that drop zone save. Ezra Robinson able to connect from the edge of circle one there. Nice to see him hit one of those. He's got 4 birdies in a row now.
Proctor also with the bird, and Calvin Heimburg, the easy cleanup, coming to push him to 13 under for the round. One more chance on hole 18 to try to do something special.
Bag on, umbrella in hand, casually to 13 down.
And hole 18, a par 4 at 711 feet. A mandatory forces you to the left where there is water the entire way. Work your way up into a pretty good spot around that little stage, and everything slopes down from right to left with some out of bounds behind the basket. Backhand plays, forehand plays, roller plays. Just depends on how aggressive you're trying to get.
Yeah, I think a great finishing hole to really have a straightforward, easy to execute second shot. You have to get so aggressive off of this tee. Otherwise, you're going to have to execute 2 well-thrown shots, as Ezra Robinson gets farther than you see most backhands get.
Yeah, unquestionably. Matched the angle very well, tested the ceiling. He should have 300, maybe a touch less into the green. Proctor with the roller play. Stays on cut.
This looks big.
And then is flippy enough to curl back up the hill. He's going to be neighbors with Ezra Robinson.
Wow. That's not a common spot. Even Man.
He's at a loss for words, folks. Heimburg threw a huge shot in round 1. This one a little more turned.
That's got to be a V.
2 spotters independently verified.
Wow. What a nice break for this nice round that Calvin's having.
And Simon also with the roller lands it high on the hill with a lot of cut. This has potential to go so far.
Yeah, Simon!
Oh, my And that's that super aggressive I was talking about to get up there and have a pretty easy upshot. He should be able to throw a putter and not have to worry about the low ceiling too much.
Yeah, that's where mediocre second shots go.
Man.
Heimburg going to go forehand out over the water.
Oh, and he catches a tree late right by the water. And it looks like twice he is going to be within a meter of the water and still be in bounds.
Take your good fortune where you can. Proctor into circle 2, but a little bit low.
Just drops out of the sky so fast.
Yeah, and that's the... So even though these guys are past the average of what you see of a good drive, this is still not an easy upshot. You really have to execute the height. As this one has too much height after seeing James throw low, he's going to end up out of bounds.
And Simon, the backhand flex, keeps it up the hill and then coasts right down into the bullseye. Great touch from Simon to close out his round.
So good. Calvin, long shot. Tied the course record, but hits the cage.
And good heavens.
What a round.
The man was on fire today.
Wow.
Ezra closes out a 9 down with a par save.
Yeah, with a couple big putts, but a few short mishaps on the green as well. Very solid round.
Yeah, going to collect a solo 4th place finish. That's great for his season, as the Elite Plus event's worth 150% of Pro Tour points. Proctor in good shape in his season also. And a good par cleanup also.
Yeah, keeps himself inside that top 10. A great finish, like he said, gonna gain some good points, which he already has a lot of in the first place. Simon Lizotte with the birdie to move to 8 down, which is just 3rd place on our chase card here. Absolutely killing this round out here at Eureka Lake, taking advantage of the low wind.
Yeah, everybody getting it done. Simon had that one bogey, but a couple good highlights as well with that closeout. Love to see what Calvin Heimburg and Ezra Robinson put together, but nobody was catching Cole Riddallen, who does get that 14 under.
Yeah, ties that course record, wins his first Disc Golf Pro Tour event by 5 strokes. This is actually he doesn't even have an A-tier win up to this point. So just incredible breakout first win after 3 podiums already this year.
Yeah, that's skipping steps, buddy. Well, we're delighted that you joined us for the Ledgestone Open presented by Merrill. And we will be back next week for the Idlewild Open down in Kentucky for another Disc Golf Pro Tour event.
Yeah, excited for another wooded track out there. Thank you guys again for joining us on Gatekeeper Media for this Elite Series Plus event. For Andrew Fish, I'm Nathan Queen. We'll see you guys out there.